Please welcome to the stage Tonomus CEO Joseph Bradley.
Thank you. It's a great opportunity to talk to you today. When you think about what has been said, a lot has been talked about. How do we deal with uncertainty? And on a personal level, I can tell you this is a challenge. 3 months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And as I'm going through chemotherapy, you're looking for certainty. And certainty has been found in many worlds, in many areas, through technology. Technology has been that source where we look for certainty. And you think about COVID, what you saw is it pushed us to this notion that the world we can't touch, we can't feel, so it therefore must be digital. And then COVID goes away and that pendulum swings to the other side. And it was about, well, no, now we got to go back to being the physical world. And we talked about and debated this notion of the metaverse. Maybe it's a gaming platform. No, it's much more of a social platform, or it's more of a digital twin environment. Well, I'm here to tell you that is the wrong question. It's a false dilemma. I call it the singular reality. You see, it's not about living in the digital world. It's not about living in the physical world. It's just simply about living. And when we think about technologists and what we're doing and how we approach this topic, much of the day has been around the technology itself. Well, I'm here to tell you that we need to change that conversation. That conversation is about you as technologists, you as leaders, coming up and embracing the transformational challenge that you have to achieve today. We fundamentally live in a different world. And that world requires us as leaders to embrace 3 basic core fundamental truths that ultimately will change how we shape, how we view, and how we interact with generative AI and the various technologies. So if you believe in this notion of generative AI and you talk about the ability to gather data, one of the things that it's so important for you to embrace is the notion between diversity on the one hand and inclusion on the other. Are they the same? No, they're not. You see, diversity is the potential to create value. Inclusion is the realization of value by driving full participation. And that full participation, that is the secret weapon of generative AI. That is what you need to power and make this go. You need full participation. So if you believe in that, then therefore here comes the mind shift. You see, the physical world by definition is limited. It's limited to how many people can fit in a city. It's limited to how many people can fit in the room. You will never achieve the level of inclusion that you need to if you simply talk about the physical world. So you have to change your mindset. The physical world becomes an add-on to the digital. The physical world becomes an add-on to the digital. Okay, let's talk about the second paradigm shift. You see, algorithms are great. They're awesome. But they optimize for efficiency. Is that life? If I ask you, what's your purpose in life? You say to make money and breathe. That's a problem. Well, that's algorithms, right? They optimize for efficiency. You have to have the mind shift change and say, no, we are here to optimize and solve for the happiness paradigm. The happiness paradigm says it is about life. It is about you. It's about people. Great story happened in a Dutch supermarket. Basically, they use all these great algorithms and they said, you know what? We can make this supermarket far more efficient. You guys have seen those checkout lines. We go in, self-checkout, right? No problem. But they uncovered that when you talk to their senior citizen workforce, they said, you know what? It's abnormally depressed. Why is that? Because they were losing connection with people. And where do they go to find that connection with people? Well, they go to the supermarket. But what do we do as technologists? Get you in and get you out. So to allow them to connect with people, they created a slow checkout line. A line where they can get an opportunity to engage with people, to learn what's happening, how you doing, what's going on in your life, to connect with one another. That is solving for the happiness paradigm. Think about that as you think about how you want to use generative AI and how you want to use all the various technologies, machine vision, quantum computing. It's not solely about efficiency. Okay, this is probably the most disruptive of all the things we're going to talk about today. You see, we live in a world right now where all the answers are known. Therefore, value is in understanding what question to ask. Rise of the humanities, man. You know all those kids you told STEM was the only way? You told them, no, stop studying English, stop studying sociology. You told them learn the code. That's what you told them? Get out of here, learn the code, learn the code, learn the code. Uh-oh. What you gotta do now? No, it's not about learn the code. Learn to think. Learn to think. Because now what you have is you have an ability where a young woman or a young man in any part of the world with a cell phone in their hand is now on the same level playing field as one of the many tech giants. In other words, if you can think it, you can create it. If you can think it, you can create it. Understand what that means? That means everyone who went to MBA school, you know the rules? Ideate, build, operate. 20% of the time you spend on ideate. Build and operate is 80% of the value. Not anymore. Build and operate, man, that's gonna be done. The human-centric side is on the ideate side. That's where you get human-centricity. And this is extremely disruptive. I love the debates. Is art art if it's created by a computer? You are talking about the wrong topic. You are worried about the output of the process. You should be talking about the input. Let me put it this way. A young girl who has lost the use of her arms, but in her heart and in her mind, she believes she is an artist. So she goes to that computer and she begins to talk. She begins to speak. And she creates art. Who says that's not art? Oh, you mean the guy, you mean the person with the paintbrush? Needs to sell that painting? That's not art. No. That's what they say, right? Wrong question. It's not about the output. It is fundamentally about the input process. That is the value. That is human centricity. That is where we can find the sources where we ultimately need to be and how we will ultimately drive value as we move forward. I will leave you with this. Many times, in many areas, we talk about so many social issues around the world. We talk about the need for equality. We talk about the need to give every person a voice. We talk about how similar the world can be in terms of crisis, and many great leaders. Where we find ourselves right now, in this moment, in a position where many of these leaders would have never dreamed we would be, where the ability to type in a few words into a search bar will be the greatest equalizer in modern day history. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening.